How's it going, everybody? Welcome to episode 2 of the Sitting Ducks Gaming Podcast. Let's start off by saying we apologize for not uploading a video last week. We were swamped with technical difficulties, and then by the time we got those figured out, we ended up recording another episode, and we just felt like the quality wasn't what we wanted it to be. We don't want to put out less than we don't want to put out bad quality videos. If we're not happy with it, we don't want to. Yeah, subpar. That's the word I was looking for. We don't want to put out, videos that we're not happy with and we don't think are gonna produce a quality and the standard that we're looking for. So we decided just to opt out of making a video last week. We tried to record it the first time. Me and Cyborg's internet went out the exact same time halfway through the podcast. What are the chances of that? And then the second time we recorded it, and that's where we had some audio issues, and that's where the quality didn't come in. And by that time, it was just too late in the week to get anything sorted out. So we decided to hold off until this week and recorded a brand new podcast. We tried again last night. Was having issues with Discord where we were getting like weird lag on the webcam side of things. Now, fast forward to Tuesday. We're recording, and so far, so good. So, fingers crossed, we will have a flawless podcast, and it'll be good. Now,
That's the game plan.
Yes, yes. Now, before we get into anything, me, Cyborg, and Triston, who can't be with us because he's celebrating his 2-year anniversary, so we're happy for Triston.
Don't blame him.
We're happy for Triston. Hope he has a good night. Now, before we get into anything, on behalf of all of us at the Sitting Ducks, we want to...
Thank you.
We want to thank you for all the love and support y'all showed on the first episode.
Yeah, man.
We really appreciate it. This has been a long road, working with designers, just trying to get ideas. We went through multiple name changes, all this stuff to get to where we are now. So we want to thank you on behalf of everybody at the Sitting Ducks for all the love and support on the first episode.
Yep. Thank you much.
And with that being said, we are working on producing new content. We'll give you all a little heads up. It's going to be, right now we're thinking of the Sitting Ducks plays, where we just play random games. You'll get all of our perspectives. We'll edit it into this badass little montage, you could call it, and it'll be a bunch of nice videos. If y'all have any game suggestions or anything like that, feel free to leave them below. We're bouncing around a few game ideas. We're still trying to figure out how we're going to record all that and get everything situated. We still got to do the graphics and everything. So it's in the works. No ETA as of yet, but just know we're working on it, and we're working on some more additions to the podcast here. So keep that in mind. Like I said,
the wheels
this
are turning.
Is only the second episode, so these are pilot episodes. We're still trying to learn everything. We're going to have issues like we did last week. We're probably going to have issues going forward. This is a learning experience for everybody a part of this podcast. So if y'all have any recommendations, any tips, tricks, anything like that, feel free to let us know in the comment section below and bear with us. Also, we will have our social medias popping up throughout the video for the Sitting Ducks. Feel free to follow those, and you can message us or give us any type of feedback, get updates, anything like that on our social medias. Me, Cyborg's, Triston's, all of the crew's social medias will be in the description below. So if y'all want to follow any of us, feel free to go down there, and all the links and information will be down there for you. With that being said, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this podcast. So it's been 2 weeks. What have we been up to for 2 weeks, man?
Shoot. We've been playing a lot of video games, I can tell you that.
We haven't been playing variety, but we have been playing a lot.
Yeah.
We've been playing a lot more than usual, which has been fucking phenomenal. It's great to have you back, bud. It's great to have you back during the week.
Yeah, during the week. That's the key. We've been playing a lot of Tarkov, man. Just that's been the late nights lately.
Yeah, dude.
It's been a lot of fucking fun though. I mean, I always say I like to start new games. It's always good to broaden your horizons, even in video games. But Tarkov's a lot of fun.
For those of you that don't know what he's talking about, we're talking about Escape from Tarkov.
Escape from Tarkov.
It is a raid-based survival game. Almost like a Daisy mixed with,
but quicker paced. And...
Yeah, it's faster paced. It's a lot more simulated. The gunplay in that game is phenomenal. You can literally take, let's say a game everybody knows, M4. You can put a million different attachments on it. You can strip that M4 down bare bones to just like the receiver and the gas tube and barrel.
The tube, barrel.
And put a whole new rail or handguard on it. You can put a whole new barrel length on it. You can literally set it up any way you want. There's a million different attachments in the game for the millions of guns, millions of little.
Yeah, it's definitely broad.
But
it's broad.
It could be a gun simulation within itself. Without the PvP aspect, like it could just be.
You could spend hours just trying to build and mess around and get a cool looking gun together.
Oh yeah. It is phenomenal. That's one of the best things. Is the PvP is phenomenal. The gunplay is phenomenal. Yeah. The level of customization and detail within every gun is phenomenal. And on top of that, it has some of the best map design I have ever seen in my entire life. There is this map.
I think we talked about that, but the details are just
podcast.
Yeah. Well, we talked about it even before that. I mean, it's just the details are ridiculous.
The details are.
You're just walking through insane. Like, holy shit,
Like, there's this map for any of y'all watching at home that have maybe never heard of Escape from Tarkov. Go on YouTube and look up a map called Interchange. And just watch.
Yeah, that's the one.
It's
like a mall setting.
Yeah, it's a shopping mall that's been abandoned. And there is so many like small little details that you would find in a normal mall if it was like an apocalyptic type scenario. There's like trash everywhere, broken glass, and when you step on that broken glass it makes a noise. I mean, I don't know how else to explain. I'm doing a poor job. It is insane the level of detail.
No, I mean, it's just like,
it's hard to
usually
explain.
most games are going to put a certain amount of replicated items, like just constant.
Bones, just basics.
Why go through and create, something that looks a little different when you can just put the same thing there? You've already created it. You already spent your time on it. But Tarkov, they do not skip that. Like, they're like, I mean, we were sitting in the back of one of the areas in Interchange on the second floor, and I like look over to my right, and there's like 20 fucking couches just stacked up everywhere, just out of nowhere. I'm like, I haven't even seen those yet. So, I mean, every corner you turn, it's something different.
I mean, we probably played over 50 hours now, I would say.
Oh, yeah.
And I played much more than Cyborg, and I'm still finding stuff on the different maps and stuff, and we haven't even played all the maps.
No. We stuck to the 3 to kind of get the hang of it.
And matched with all this, matched with the amazing map design and gunplay, it also has phenomenal sound design. It is incredible when it comes to visuals, sound design. It's just all around a great game. If you are into survival games or anything like that, just keep in mind when you go into it, it's hardcore. It can be super overwhelming. There's a million different ammo types. Each ammo type.
It's just realistic. Yeah. Like if you're gonna play enough to be good, like you can go on. The good thing about it is it equals it out. I mean, you can go on scav runs, and scav is like, you spawn into the raid, with a set amount of gear. Usually it's just welfare gear, Yeah, with a random loadout.
And then if you escape, you can get it all for free. Basically.
You can kill players who go in with their loadouts, or other scavs, AIs, and and you try and get out with it. But you don't have to risk anything. Like you get that every 10 minutes or something like that?
No, it's more than that. It was originally every 30 minutes, but it seems like it's way faster. Because normally I'd finish a raid and then I'd have to wait like 19 or so minutes. Now it seems like maybe after you complete the raid, it adds 20, like 5 minutes or something. I don't know the exact number, but I guess just for sake of argument, we'll say it's every 20 minutes you get a scav run. And it costs absolutely nothing. You get it, gives you a random loadout. For the most part, it's pretty welfare type gear. Occasionally, you'll get really lucky, get a nice weapon, get a nice armor set, backpack, things like that. And it's always nice to make it out with that and kind of buff up your inventory, because your stash, it can be, you can lose it very quickly if you're not careful. Just running with your PMC, private military contractors, like your main character. So everything you have in your stash, your bank, your inventory, whatever you want to refer to it as, you load that onto your character, and then you enter a raid, and if you die, you lose all those items. Now, you can insure them Every item costs
Yeah,
a certain
which
amount
is
to insure, and that only means you get it back if nobody takes it. So, like, if I insure my M4, I go into a raid, I die, nobody picks it up, I'll get it back. If somebody takes it, I'll never see it again. So, scavs are a nice way to get new
not
players.
risk anything.
Yeah, it's a nice way to learn the map, let new players get gear that they otherwise might not have been able to, get better at PvP, practice, things like that. And the good thing about scav runs, when you spawn in as a PMC, you spawn in at the very start of a raid, which is usually about an hour, and everybody else spawns in the same time. At a given spawn point, there's a couple throughout each map, and then you go to a random extraction zone, and that's how you get out. Well, with the scav run, what's neat about those is you don't spawn in at a guaranteed hour mark. You could spawn in at any
10
time.
minutes,
Yeah, 10
30
minutes,
minutes.
30 throughout that raid. So you could very well spawn in, and all the real players have already done all the work for you. So you could spawn in and just scavenge all the dead bodies and gear that they couldn't pick up or that they might have missed, and then get out that way. So you never know what you're going to run into in Escape from Tarkov.
And that's the other thing also you mentioned for a second there. The inventory, like when you're in game, I mean, you can only take a certain amount out. Like
it's very limited.
I mean, you're not unless you bring in minimal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you bring something small and like a pistol or something like that, then you have more room. But if you come in with an M1 and meds and clips for the whole thing, you're usually only going to get one guy's worth of stuff, like a good loot. But it's, more or less about escaping with it. That's the hard part.
Yeah, that's the hard part, is getting out. Like I said, guys, I would watch some YouTube videos on it if this is something that sounds interesting to you, if you might not know what it is. Phenomenal game, tons of fun, especially with friends. However, just know when you're getting in there, it's a huge learning curve. There's a lot to it.
It's early access, isn't it?
Yeah,
or is it like
it'd be considered early access. They use their own.
I'm just saying, it still changes.
Oh yeah, they're
constant
updates. They're constantly doing updates. They're constantly every major update.
Like it just wiped.
Yeah.
So
every major update usually comes with a wipe, where they wipe everybody's stash back to your basic edition. So when you buy a game, they'll give you basic loot. And they have different editions of the game. Each different gives you a different stash size and different starting gear. It's not really pay to win because none of the gear is like that crazy. It's all stuff that you can get pretty easy and pretty low tier weapons. It just gives you a nice little
it's well
cushion.
Balanced. I mean,
yeah,
it's well balanced. It's just guns that you would find on a scav if you just spawned in and left. So
no, it's like I said, it's not too crazy. I recently upgraded to the most expensive edition, was like $140, only because the stash size is bigger. If you buy the $40 version, not to say that I wouldn't buy the $40 version, because I was playing with that for the bulk of my my Tarkov career, whatever you would call it. But you just got to be more careful with your stash, because it'll get full really quick. And there's pros and cons of that. It makes you sell things off, or it forces you to use it, because you need more space for more gear. But I would recommend Escape from Tarkov to any shooter fans out there. If nothing else, just watch.
I would definitely look at the videos. Yeah, I mean it's super realistic. I mean it might get frustrating, but if you take the time to like understand what you're doing wrong or what you need to do, you'll be fine. I mean,
it's definitely a game we're gonna need to do your research on, because like I said, there's like 20. Well, 20 is a little exact. There's like 10 different ammo types for every caliber, and each of them do different things to armor and have different values, and
stats play a huge role.
That's part of the reason that's one of the things I hate the most about the game, is the armor system. It's not broken or anything, but if you have the best armor in the game, and let's say somebody has an MP5, shoots 9mm. If you don't have that great of armor, you could dump a 30-round mag, your whole mag, into somebody's body armor and do virtually no damage. It's
nothing.
So there's very much a leg meta, because there's no leg armor in the game, and there's very much a headshot. One-shot headshot kills everything.
Yeah, I think it's a headshot meta more than a leg meta. Like if you can get one bullet, as long as they don't have that face shield.
Yeah, if somebody has a face shield and you try to shoot them, you're fucked.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's pretty much one-shot headshot for any gun. So everybody just aims for the face. Hip fire, it's more like a high ready, whereas you're just shouldering it. You're not aiming down the sights. But for every other game, it'd be called hip fire. Hip fire is 100% accurate.
Yeah. It's like you're looking down the barrel. You're just not. Yeah. Like, it doesn't shoot all over the fucking place.
Yeah. So it's a super fun game. It can be crazy intense, which is why I love it. Along with, like I said, great.
Yeah, we've had some good moments.
Oh, dude, phenomenal! Great map design, great sound design, fun gun mechanics, and then above all else, it just gives you these crazy intense situations. It gives you gear fear. It's just all around a phenomenal game, and I think it's better now than it's ever been. Scabs are amazing. Performance has been better. I would recommend everybody go check it out. It is $40, so it's a little pricey, but I think it's worth every penny. Yeah. And this is coming from somebody that spent $140. So.
Yeah, $40 even. It took me a while. I just bought it recently, but
and we've been fucking playing it ever since. It has been.
Yeah, it's worth it. Definitely worth it for sure.
Let's see.
What else you been playing, man?
So, today I was actually playing some more of the Hunter Classic.
Oh, yeah.
I had a bunch of podcasts that I was behind on, so I was like, man, I'm going to just listen to these podcasts, catch up, and play the Hunter Classic. Best realistic hunting game I've ever played. It's fucking phenomenal, dude. Super pay-to-win game. Extreme. You can't do anything in that game without spending
unless
money.
You pay something.
So that's so like it doesn't really hold up now.
But you don't have to. You don't have to spend a lot though if you want to actually.
No, but
like what did I spend? Like $5? $10?
Because it's like $10 for the membership, and then you bought a gun. Yeah, you probably spent 20. Yeah. But
it gets you started and
it's a great game if you're into hunting and you're into like. It's a fucking hilarious game to play with friends. If you're into hunting, it's the best hunting game you can play as far as like you have Hunter Call of the Wild, which is like a normal video game. You spend your money. There's no pay to win elements. They do have DLC, but there's no like thing that's constantly charging you money to progress.
Yeah.
And phenomenal graphics, probably the best graphics I've ever seen. But there's no like variation when it comes to antler size. Like let's say a deer might have like 5 different antler variations versus a Hunter Classic has this
totally
true rack system which randomly generates antlers, and that's why I love it so much. Because I have
even you were saying, like the when we played it a couple times, the couple deers that we saw were kind of looked pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah,
they weren't anything like that rare one you were talking about, but they're totally new every time you kill some kind of animal.
And that adds to the replayability. And they have a ton of maps, ton of different species, and every species goes off of that true rack system. They have rares, so you can get like piebald, you can get albinos. It is just all around a very enjoyable game. If you're into hunting, I'd recommend it. It's an older game, so the graphics aren't as good, but they're not bad.
They hold up.
Yeah, they hold up. But like I said, it's going to be pay to win. You're going to have to spend money to get into it. It is, again, pay to win, but it's free to play. So you can download it free and play. You're going to be severely limited.
You can at least get a sense of what it's like.
You're going to be severely limited.
To what? Just deer and something else?
They change it every week to where you got like 3 or 4 animals to hunt. But here's the thing. In that game, there is a ethical feature where you got to shoot the correct animal with the correct caliber.
Yep.
And you start off with the 243, which is a relatively low caliber. So if they're like, oh, you can hunt moose this week. Well, okay, you can hunt moose, but you don't have the right weapon.
You're not going to kill moose.
Well, you can kill it, but it won't give you a score or anything. It'll just say unethical hit or something like that, or invalid or disqualified or something like that. So it's kind of like they give you these free animals that you can hunt, but it's like you really can't.
Redundant.
Yeah,
it's redundant.
But I've been playing. I played that for a couple hours a day. Had a blast. Didn't beat any of my records. Kind of sad about that. Let's see.
Yeah, it always feels nice to find something that's totally new to put up in your trophy room.
Besides today, I always seem to find like a nice big buck or nice new record to go in the trophy room when I just come back on a one-off. Where I'm like, I'll go play it for an hour, and then I fucking run into
it sucks you in for a couple of days.
I'll find Moby Dick, and I'll be like, I was looking for this thing for like 10 hours in a row, couldn't find it, and then fucking just hop on, don't really care, and then bam, there it is.
There it is.
It's a great game though. I love it. I'm a hunter, so I can relate to it.
It keeps to the realism of hunting though.
Now, I will say the Hunter Call of the Wild is a fantastic game. I played it a ton when I first got it. I thought it was fantastic. It is a blast. It's more like it's a nice. Both of them are a nice blend. The Hunter Classic a little bit more realistic, but the Call of the Wild and the Hunter Classic are a nice blend of like arcade versus realism. Or you're not just going to see one deer shoot and then never not see anything else for an hour. You're going to be constantly running into things, but there's wind direction, there's scent, so there's this nice blend. You have to hit them in a vital. You can't just shoot them wherever. There's blood tracking. There's all this stuff, so it's still fun. But the Hunter Call of the Wild for your more average person, I would recommend. It's a blast. You get friends in there with. If you don't hunt, antlers aren't going to be like as important as they are to me. And it'll just be a blast to play with friends. Like I said, the visuals are outstanding. They've added a whole bunch of stuff. So they just added lions to the African map, which I haven't even tried out.
They?
Yeah, they added trophy rooms just now, which I think are kind of pointless. They added trophy rooms, but everybody's animals are going to look the same. So
there's nothing going to be rare about it.
The only thing would be rare if you shot like an albino or something. So I'm thinking maybe they have plans of bringing the true rack to Call of the Wild, and if they do that,
maybe.
If they do that, it'll be the best game ever. But as of now, it's a great game. I like Call of the Wild better, and above all those, I like Carnivores 2, dinosaur hunting game, whatever. Besides that, we've been playing Risk of Rain 2.
Throw your little dinosaur tidbit in there. Whatever. Whatever.
Risk of Rain 2, though, man.
Yeah, man, that's been fucking ridiculous. I was watching that footage that I recorded a little bit of, and it's just too good. That game's way too good.
Guess what? Released a new update today. I had to update it. Yeah, I don't know what was all in it.
I hadn't even opened it yet.
Yeah, they released some patch notes for it. I skimmed over a couple of it. It was they nerfed some of the monsters. They
I hope they nerfed that one hit fucker.
Yeah, they nerfed a couple like variants from like fire and stuff like that. They did some bug fixes and stuff like that. Like I said, I didn't go through it that well, but there is an update. For those of you that don't know, Risk of Rain 2, it is a must-have right now on Steam. It is a wave-based survival game with multiple characters.
Third person, you know.
It's very like arcadey, fun. I say wave-based survival game. It's kind of weird where you spawn on a map.
It's not fully wave-based.
Yeah, it's wave-based in a sense. Like, you spawn on a map, there's a bunch of enemies that keep spawning. You got to find this teleportal. You find it, you activate it, a boss spawns. You kill the boss, you capture the teleporter, and then you teleport through, and it takes you to the next map. There's 4 maps every playthrough, and then after you get past that fourth one, it sends you back to the first one, and you keep playing. It just keeps progressively getting harder and harder and harder. There's chests all around, and you open those chests, and they give you perks. And those perks build your character up to be like this fucking badass, and you can just keep stacking the same perks. And
the perks also attached
to your body, so you can see
not just in your bag or something.
So there's like one perk where it's a teddy bear, and it like deflects damage or has a chance. And if you have like 5 of them, you have like 5 random teddy bears just attached to your body. It's
my favorite one is like the slug-looking one that's like healing on damage.
Oh yeah.
It's like it's on your shoulder.
I like the. It's crazy. They got this one where it's like you're holding that knife with the alien hand coming out your back.
Oh where it's like the one that throws it or whatever. Oh man, that's creepy. But yeah, a whole fucking arm comes out of your back.
It's a phenomenal game. It's made by 3 people. It came out of nowhere, and this is what got me and Cyborg. Bought it instantly. Knew nothing about it, which I think helped us in our level of enjoyment.
Decision.
But we hopped in, or I saw it on the homepage of Steam, saw the art style, thought it looked cool, clicked on it, went through a few photos, saw the reviews, At 7,500 people reviewed it. It was overwhelmingly positive for an early access game that just got released. Never seen that before in my life, especially for 7,500 people.
That's insane.
So I instantly bought it. Cyborg bought it, and there was I remember reading a review while I was downloading it that said I bought this game, had no idea what it was, and 5 hours of my life just disappeared, and that's exactly what happened to me in Cyborg.
Yep.
And
I couldn't put it down that first night. Like, it was hard to.
It's just a blast. It's just a thankless game that you can just hop on and just have a blast in.
The waves are good too. Like, it starts off easy, then goes medium and hard, and then it's like
it ends off in
insane.
Ha, 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 ha. Oh,
like usually there's gaps.
Yeah.
You know, you see like green is easy, and then yellow's medium, red hard, and it's like colors. But once it gets to ha 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 ha, it just keeps going.
Oh yeah,
it's just HA, and it just keeps going. And I mean, the enemies are unlimited at that point.
So what's neat about this game
insane.
Is the difficulty doesn't really change the game and what you would think. Normally you want a game on easy, it lowers everything down to easy and you stay on easy. Well, this game, your difficulty is a meter and it's constantly going up as the time progresses. So you start out on easy and then it goes to medium, hard, so on and so forth. Well, when you're in the loading screen, it lets you pick if you want easy, medium, and hard. And all that affects is the time it takes for that meter to move from easy all the way to the hardest difficulty, which is just ha 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 ha. And by that time, it's fucking chaos. So
you aren't even worried about the enemies at that point. You're worried about killing the boss while surviving them, because you can't kill them all.
No,
I mean, they're so.
Once you get into ha ha ha, once you get far enough, you can get like one hit. So it's really important that you get your foundation set up with perks before you get that deep into the game. But it is a ton of fun. Like I said, you can stack perks. So by the end of it, you're like the superhero. You're running really fast. You're flying through the air.
You got like 20 jumps.
Yeah,
and, you could teleport, and it's crazy.
The movement's great. The perk system's great. The art style is phenomenal.
The art style and the way the game plays, how smooth it is wonderful. I mean, so far since we've been playing, have we had any issues?
No,
I haven't had any issues. I mean, anything. And you got to think there's a lot in that game as far as graphics and stuff go. And I mean, I know they're adding more pieces to it.
We haven't even unlocked everything, and I have 20 hours in the game. Not even close.
Yeah, and they have future plans down the road, and obviously with the way it's hitting over with Steam, at least. I mean, I'm sure they're brainstorming as we speak, trying to get new ideas in there. But
I think I was telling you this yesterday. I saw where they made over $5 million.
Yeah.
So
I believe it. How much you think Steam made off of that $5 million?
Oh, it could not go to a better team though. Like I said, guys, made by 3 people, and they hit this one out of the fucking park. It is a phenomenal game. Go check it out.
I would definitely go support them. I mean, and go check it out. I mean, the reviews don't lie. It's a lot of fucking fun.
I think overwhelmingly positive speaks volumes. How many early access games have you ever seen overwhelmingly positive with 10, 20,000 reviews? You just don't see it.
How many indie games like overwhelmingly positive?
How many games in general?
Yeah, like with that many reviews.
So
I mean, there's a lot of dicks out there. You usually have it down a lot, but man, they killed it for sure.
Oh man, they hit it out of the park. I'd highly recommend it. It's a phenomenal game. Risk of Rain 2. Go check it out on Steam. You will not regret it.
If you don't want to spend what is it, 20 right now?
Yeah.
If you don't want to spend that, I'm sure it'll be coming up on sale hopefully soon.
Yeah, Steam.
I mean, with the way it's going, it's got to be a forefront on their sale somewhere.
I mean, I would dump 20. Help support the team. It's worth it. Every penny. And it's a great game to get some friends in with. It's weird because in the game you would think having more people would make it easier, but it kind of makes it harder because you got to split the perks up.
Yeah.
Versus like when I play solo, I am so OP because every chest I can loot myself, so I have a ridiculous amount of perks. When you're playing with 2 people, me and Cyborg, we're still crazy OP, and I imagine if you get 3 or 4, it'll start really thinning out and be even more challenging.
But usually like the certain things you want, because like when you're playing by yourself, you open some of those epic chests and you get to choose what your special Q ability is. When you're two of you, I kind of got to settle sometimes, but they're still all good abilities. It makes you play with them, if anything. Because I mean, you were using that flying one for a while.
Yeah, when we first started playing, that one's kind of broken. You could just fly outside the map and safe spot everything. Yeah. But like I said, great game.
Yeah, but that's how your choice.
Yeah. Games are how you play them and what you make of them, for the most part. And yeah, that falls into that situation. It's not broken or anything. I was just being a dickhead. Go check it out on Steam though. Risk of Rain 2. I think it's worth all your money, and couldn't go to a better development team. Not sponsored by them or anything. Just fucking love the product, love the game.
Yeah, they just did a great job.
Oh, phenomenal job.
Kudos.
Now, with that being said, we got on a little tangent. It went a little longer than I thought it would. We're going to go into the random gaming question for this week. This is something that we decided to keep every week for the time being. It's just a nice way to get into the podcast. We didn't really need it this podcast, but we'll still do it just on principle. Cyborg,
it's good to have some,
something to segue you into the main stuff. So Cyborg, if you want to go first.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and go. So I kind of got a two-parter again. Okay. I just excelling above and beyond everything. All right, so favorite game weapon, but I'm not going to make you go too broad. Okay. I'll let you pick one that's anything. But I also want to know your favorite MW, Modern Warfare, weapon, and your favorite Halo weapon.
Favorite Halo and favorite Modern Warfare. Okay, so you want one?
Just easy,
one random,
stock.
One Modern Warfare and one Halo. Okay.
Just one that comes to mind when you think about it first, and then pick between those two you can choose on.
Okay, this is your question. You can answer first.
All right, I'll go first. I'll give you some time. Well, the easy one for me is the Scar from Modern Warfare 3. That's a little bit of a bitch gun, It was pretty much overpowered, but I can't tell you how many
Modern
nukes.
Warfare 3?
2. Sorry, 2.
Okay.
Yeah, 2. And it was awesome. That's the only gun I used for a long time.
The Scar was nice, but the 20-round mag is what made me never use it.
It's overpowered. It had so much more damage.
You could use the M16 one burst somebody from Moss. You had the AK. AK was way better. You had the ACR, had no recoil, 30-round mag.
The ACR, they should have taken that gun out way before. The ACR was literally like, you hop into that game and you check the scoreboard, you see someone has 80 kills, and you're like, how's that happen? And you see the Scar just rolling up, or the ACR just rolling up the feed. Like, I hate that gun.
Okay. All right. Then my favorite Modern Warfare game is pretty easy, or gun's pretty easy. It has to be the Barrett 50 cal. I started out in COD.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's in every Modern Warfare game, so that made it pretty easy. And I started out in COD, not really so much nowadays. I'm more of a kill whore if I play. But back then, especially back when the sniping community was really hot, I fucking loved sniping, quick scoping.
The quick scoping community was huge.
And the 50 cal was like my fucking baby. That and whatever bolt action was at the time. But the 50 cal was phenomenal. It translated across all of them. I remember playing Modern Warfare 3 when that came out. For those of you that played Modern Warfare 3, you know what I'm talking about. You could get like these gold weapons. They weren't that hard to get. You just leveled up your gun, did a couple challenges, and bam, you had a gold. Well, I got the gold 50 cal the first day the game released. And I thought I had to have been one of the first people to get the gold 50 cal. Like, I still think, I wish I could see like what rank I was for the gold 50 cal, but
wish you had the technology to go back and see how long it really took you to get it,
but it has to be the 50 cal. That was in every one. I used it religiously in every one. It's a fun gun to use. I love sniping. I mean,
who doesn't love the 50 cal?
Dude, I love sniping.
That fucker's so powerful.
Oh, dude. It was fucking a godsend. Semi-auto. So if somebody ran around the corner and wanted to get smart, I could just... I just love that game. Love the gun. Love the sound. Love how it looks. I just love everything.
I can hear that sound right in my head right now.
Yeah.
50 cal going off.
All right, man. Halo. What's yours?
Oh, I'm gonna pick the easy one for Halo. I went with the energy sword,
Dude, that's a
and
fun one.
I mean, it's I think more of the nostalgic factor, like the first time seeing the energy sword,
Yeah.
and ever since that, it's like it's just a
So
staple of
polarizing.
one of those weapons. Oh yeah, so
You could just
polarizing.
hear
But
that.
it, whoosh. I mean, when you first got to use that thing too, well, first off, when you first got killed by it, like that's when you do like, oh shit, like
That fucking
this might be
lunge,
something
man.
to worry about, you know? And yeah, that lunge too.
No,
And then it was in multiplayer. Oh, I used to love using the sword in multiplayer.
I agree,
It was,
man. The energy sword was a fucking phenomenal weapon addition. I think it came in Halo 2. What I don't remember if it was in the
well,
original. No, it
it was
was.
in the
Yeah,
original, but you
yeah.
couldn't. Yeah, you
Yeah,
only
I
got to
remember.
use it at certain times. It wasn't like throughout the game a
Well,
lot.
and that it's
You got
so.
killed by it a lot.
I think Halo was one of the games that put melee in multiplayer and made it like useful.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
the energy sword was fantastic. It like so many custom game modes wouldn't have been possible without the energy sword. So
yeah,
that's a
yeah.
great pick. Again, I love sniping. I gotta go with the sniper, man. Like, dude, I just fucking
Yeah.
sniping in that game was
I
fucking
mean, that one's the same as like the nostalgic. Ugh. But that first one when you got to pick up that
dude.
sniper and it had the double zoom on it,
The
you know.
satisfaction of getting a headshot and just like the ragdoll and them just launching sideways. Oh, it's fucking phenomenal.
Oh man.
That's where I developed my passion for sniping in video games. Cyborg knows I snipe in fucking all the video games I play. I've gotten
Yeah.
pretty good at sniping in pretty much every game I play. I'm always the designated marksman.
The designated eyes.
Yeah, that's why
For
they call me
people
Hawkeye.
that don't have any.
And Halo's where that all began. That sniper is so much fun to use, man. I used to play Team Sniper. If I'm playing with friends, it's always snipers only. Snipers or rocket launchers.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
God. What's your random?
That was a good time with custom money. Actually, I got a pretty good random one. This is what actually brought along the whole. I only went with
Now,
the
hold
Modern
on.
Warfare and Halo. What?
Now, I was actually gonna ask this question at one point, like favorite gun. So I've been thinking about it. So it's
Really?
yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
Now, if you somehow happen to say the
No,
one
I
I'm
don't think I
thinking
am.
of,
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm going a little bit out there.
So am I.
I'm going. I'm. So am I. This was one I thought of when I first thought of the question, though, and it's definitely the Assassin's Creed
Okay.
blades.
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, the hidden blades. And I remember when that game first came out with the hidden blades, and I'm pretty sure I never used any of the other weapons in that game. Like even when the most recent one, like I still have the pirate one.
Yeah.
What's that one called?
Black Flag.
Black Flag, yeah, and you know you got muskets and you know ship fighting, all that. Still, two hidden blades. It's just so badass. The kill moves that they implemented with
satisfying.
those, it's just
much
it's
fun
so
to do.
good. It's so good.
See, when you said favorite weapon, for whatever reason, my mind went to guns, to firearms.
Yeah.
So now that you mentioned melee, it like destroys everything because now there's so many options. So I'm gonna throw out 3.
Yeah.
For the firearm, well, okay, I'm gonna throw out 4. For the firearm, I'm going Doom.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So the BFG, the
Yep.
big fucking gun, dude. Especially like in the movie. A lot of people didn't like the movie. I love the Doom movie, but just the big, just
Yeah.
and just fucks everything up in its path. And then the Doom plasma rifle was such an iconic weapon as well. Love that. And then I picked 2 melee weapon. Well, a melee weapon and then a bow. So the melee weapon would be Dragon Claws for RuneScape.
Oh yeah, dude. I didn't even think about
When
those.
they first came out,
Yeah.
they were fucking insane. And I used to love watching like rushing videos on YouTube and stuff like that. And then the other thing would be a dark bow in RuneScape.
Yeah.
Which also I used to watch a ton of. I've always been like a sniper, so then like RuneScape range is my favorite like melee style, and it stemmed from watching people dark bow rush people in PvP worlds and like one hit them because you could hit so high with
Yep.
it. I've never been able to do that, but those would be like my favorite weapon. But if I could only pick one, it would probably be the BFG from Doom. Just kind of going out there.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's
That one's just too iconic,
dude,
man. It's
just
so
badass.
like. I mean, who else can you think of that made a gun that just did that? Like
Fallout?
ruined just everything.
the Fat Man, the fucking nuke launcher.
Oh,
But
yeah,
that's not nearly
but
as cool. As
yeah, but I mean, it's not really the same. Yeah,
yeah, I don't know, man. It's a fucking dope ass gun. But that's one of the ones that came to. I'm sure if I like sat here and really thought about it, I could get a different one. But those would be
like
my picks.
the Blaze came to mind first too, because
Yeah,
I don't know.
dude, I would have never even.
iconic.
I would have never considered that, and that's.
I don't know. I just couldn't think of like that melee style was all new to video games.
Oh, 100%.
Like usually, you're holding something, or or it's really basic, and you always are holding one thing. But to have two separate blades that you swinging around, it was pretty dope. And then you could block with them, like I mean, you could use everything
Jumping off
what
a
you would
building
with a
onto
normal
somebody.
weapon, smashing it through the back of their skull. Yeah, pretty good weapon, man.
Dude, that's.
I wouldn't mind having one of those. Actually, I'm pretty sure that's probably
was actually
illegal.
watching-
It's probably like a switchblade or
Well, I was
something.
watching a video of like it was a long time ago. People like testing that out, and I wanted to say they said that it wouldn't be a viable weapon.
Oh, I mean, it wouldn't, but
I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't know. Anything's viable if you spend enough time training.
Yeah, I guess so. That's a good point. All right, guys.
You cut yourself
I need
enough
a
with it.
BFG. But yeah, man, BFG would be my pick. Now,
That's a good one.
dude, it's a fucking amazing one.
All right, what you got for your gaming question,
So-
sir?
If you could play one game, and in your case, it can't be Rust, because I know that would probably.
Okay.
If you could only play one game from this moment in a year, so for the next year, you can only play one game, what would it be?
Oh man. Yeah, I might have to let you go first while I think about that. That's a hard choice. You only one game for a whole year.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I did play Rust for like.
Yeah,
a
that's
year
why
straight.
I said you couldn't pick it, because I knew you would just default to that.
Yeah.
For me,
That's a
I'm not gonna
default
do
setting.
RuneScape or Rust. See, that's a hard one. Like I would love to be able to play Escape from Tarkov for a year and get
It would
like,
have to be multiplayer.
Yeah.
Like it would have
Yeah,
to be multiplayer.
There's no other single player game that's going to give you that level of replayability. Or maybe I pick a single player game and get a lot of real life shit done. I don't know.
Beat it in the first week and
Yeah.
go on with everything else.
Let's see.
I think I would probably go with like. I think I would probably go with like maybe the Battlefield games. That
But the
way I
recent
can get a
ones-
good.
You could only pick one of them though, so you couldn't pick the series.
No, I mean, like the recent one. What's the recent one?
Battlefield 5, but I didn't find it to be that amazing.
Yeah.
And you haven't even played it. So
That's
you're
why I would
picking
pick
a
it.
game you haven't even played. So it could be
why I
total
would pick it.
ass, and you're just fucked.
Nah.
You didn't go with like Escape
I
from
would trust it.
Tarkov or a game that.
I don't know, dude. That's the reason I wouldn't pick Rust. What I wouldn't pick Tarkov, because I would end up breaking it or uninstalling it or.
Or you could be a god at the end of it.
We could only hope. Maybe one day.
I'd probably pick. The problem is, I'm always switching games. So like I get really hardcore. You could pick Siege.
Oh, that would be a good one.
That'd be a fun one. Risk of Rain. I feel like that'd get old after a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Depends how.
Well.
I would either pick Siege or Escape from Tarkov, and I would hope
That's
that
too solid.
my buddy would team up with me there.
I would hope that we're not dumb enough for both of us to only play one game for a year. What bets are we making?
I would do Escape from Tarkov. You'd get more variety. You could easily switch it up, man.
You could play by yourself. You could
There
play
would be
with people.
wipes throughout
Yeah.
that year that would make it
Yeah,
exciting
yeah.
again, and I want to get good at that game. So
Yeah.
fuck it, Escape from Tarkov. I might kill myself by the end of that year, but
You would definitely need like multiple hiatus. Like just disappear from a month or so and be like, okay.
I think I could probably do it as long as I had friends playing with me.
Yeah. Or, I mean, and that's a good pick too because it's early. It's going to keep developing.
Yeah.
So, like you said, those new maps on it, I'm curious about those, man.
Oh yeah, the new maps that haven't been added yet. Terminal,
that haven't never been unlocked.
Streets of Tarkov, the suburbs, dude. I'm excited for all those. Those all sound fucking amazing.
And I still haven't even played Labs yet, so
we played a little bit of it. That we played.
I didn't.
I thought we did. Yeah, no, we just gotta level up our trader so we can get in there, man, and then we can get the real fucking loot.
The real.
Assuming we don't die. Which.
Yeah, that's always a hard part.
Yeah. Dude, we have a problem with doing kick-ass things in raids, like killing 10 people, and not making it out.
Yeah. Here's the issue. That, like, the scavs they're not dumb. Like, they are very well crafted in this game.
They're a little aimbody. They used to be extremely aimbody.
Yeah, they're a little aimbody still, but they're also, like, when they hear shit popping off, they come running. Yeah. Like, they don't, it's not like, oh, I've got this area over here where my AI is supposed to patrol. Like, no, like, you start popping off, you kill 1, 2, 3 people, you have to fight it out.
Yeah, no,
that's usually when it gets sticky.
They move around the map. They do hold down certain areas, but if you aggro them, boy, they unleash hell on you. And they will hunt you down until one of y'all are dead. Yeah, no, Escape from Tarkov. Super intense, super fun game. That's what I'd pick.
I think we should. I think we should definitely try and do that for play. That and Risk of Rain.
You talking about that to a podcast?
Yeah.
I'm never gonna say no.
Never. For sure, man.
Yeah, no, dude. Escape from Tarkov would be my choice. I would pick Siege, but I feel like Siege eventually would get burned out because Siege, for the most part, it's the same thing over and over and over.
What is it? Year 4 now, 2 that it's on or something?
Yeah.
Siege.
Well,
so year 3.
They would be releasing more new characters, but new characters would get so old, and then if you didn't like them and they weren't that
that's
great,
what I'm saying. They've already released a lot of new characters.
It'd be very hit or miss. So yeah, Tarkov would be my bet because there's so many guns I haven't used, so many different attachments you could do.
A lot more potential.
Yeah, there's just more potential for gameplay variations than Siege could ever offer. But Siege would be a much more calm experience that I could like.
I tell you, I 5-1 without you,
and I don't believe it.
Yeah, I got it recorded. I'll send it over to you.
So
I had to, man. I had to. It was a good game.
So I was up in arms about getting Siege on the PC. I used to play Siege a lot with my buddy Steven. Steven passed away, and this was on Xbox. And I had all the characters on Xbox, and I was very hesitant. I thought I would never play the game again. Not because I don't like Siege or anything like that, but because that was something that me and Steven played. And since he passed away, I really didn't have anybody to play with. And it was always like those memories. I don't want to say it was like a sensitive subject, but I don't know. It just never.
Well, it's good memories to have specifically to Xbox game, that game too. So
I thought I would never play it again. And then it came on sale on Steam for like $5 or something like that. And Cyborg, being the horrible friend he is, peer pressured me into buying it, as he did. So I went ahead and bought it, downloaded it. Turns out it is fucking amazing on PC. Fucking, it feels so fucking awesome. So I already played like a couple hundred hours in it. But Cyborg's playing while I'm at work one day. I hop in Discord while I'm on a break or something and talking to him, and he's been going off apparently. Like 5-0, 6-0, 8-1, things like that. Like pretty good games consistently. And I'm like, all right, man. I'll get home and I'm like, dude, I'm thinking I'm gonna suck. Like I haven't played the game in forever. I get on and I'm starting doing pretty good, and Cyborg's doing the opposite now. Like 1-8. like
I
horrible.
hate playing with you for that reason.
And every time we play
shut me
together,
up.
for the most part, he like performs less than adequate. But every time I'm not on, he does this
I'm telling you, man.
miraculous games. So I don't know.
It feels a lot better.
Y'all-
I can't always hide in your shadow.
Y'all let us know if he's lying or
No.
if he's really doing these. You know what it is? I'm not there to take the kills.
You're going to get that notification. That's what I'm saying, man.
Yeah.
I'm tired of hiding in your shadow. You got to get out the way and let Cyborg do some work.
Yeah, Siege in a lot of ways is like Escape from Tarkov in that it feels like a
It's
game.
brutal.
Well, yeah. But it feels like a game where like you just want to stay in one spot. But I feel like if you really want to be successful, you got to figure out that nice movement balance. Like an Escape from Tarkov, with the way the sound is and everything, it makes you really want to just kind of go slowest fucking walk speed and just ease into everything. But you miss out on a lot of action, and you're a super fucking easy target.
Yep.
And then on the Siege side of things, you want to just stay in the room that you start in because it's all barricade and everything. You want to just hide in the corner. And a lot of
you put shields up and feels like it's safe.
And it gives you like this false sense of security because you can destroy all these different walls. But you don't get a lot of kills that way in most cases because most of the time your teammates pick everybody off. You might get the last guy trying to get the objective, or in some cases you might not see anybody, or whatever the case is. So many times Siege, you want to play it a little bit more aggressive, finding that happy medium, and staying for Escape from Tarkov, finding that happy medium. And that's what I've been able to do successfully recently in Siege. Well, I don't want to say recently. We haven't played in a little while. But that's what I was able to do in Siege on the PC. Is the movement feels a lot better, so I feel a lot more comfortable like pushing out of the starting room and
Well, I'll tell you, that's what I started doing. Like when I'm not playing with you, I start running out because it's like it's mimicking what you're doing. It works. I'll tell you.
I think I get a lot of success in video, especially shooters. This sounds like I'm bragging. I don't want it to, but like I'm for the most part, I can hop on a shooter and handle myself pretty well, with the exception of something crazy like Escape from Tarkov. I had some trouble. CS:GO, when I first started playing that, I had some trouble. But for the most part, I have a really deep understanding of basic video games. I'm able to watch stuff on YouTube. I'm able to watch stuff in general and pick up on things that a lot of other people don't.
Yeah.
I call it game sense. And it's a weird thing. A lot of people think like you can develop game sense, and you can to a certain extent. But at least from what I've found playing with a ton of friends, it's like for whatever reason, it's something that like some people have and some people don't. Like for instance, we have a friend. I don't want to name out any names, but we have a kid that we play with all the time. He has a ton of hours in Rust, and his game sense isn't there. Like he doesn't. He's not a leader of the group, okay? And I don't know if he'll ever be a leader. The game sense just doesn't click in the way that it clicks for me. It might click for you. It clicks for like it's weird how the game sense aspect works. Like Triston, me and him played a ton of PUBG on the PC, or not on the PC, on the Xbox. And I was always the one making the plays. Like, we'll go here, we'll go there, we'll go. Always the one making the plays, no matter who we play with. And I think it's just my game sense. I'm able to, like, watch videos and pick up on a lot of things, or just play the game and pick up on
See what it is that makes it successful.
Yeah.
Like,
don't get me wrong. I'm not like a fucking Shroud or anything. I don't. And in many ways, I don't have especially on PC, I don't have the hand-eye coordination needed to be the fucking god that I feel like I could be. Like on Xbox, I can handle myself fucking phenomenal, but on PC I have a lot more trouble. I can aim perfect, that's why I'm always sniping. My aim's great, but any game that has recoil I have issues with, and I think a lot of that stems back to over a decade of nothing but console playing, and only the past 2 or 3 years I played on PC. On console, there's no such thing as recoil. Like control, you're not controlling recoil, so it's never been a thought in my mind. So when I switch over to PC, well, recoil control is a real thing. A lot of games have recoil that you need to control, and if I'm consciously thinking about it, like if I'm at a target range and I'm shooting a target, I can for the most part learn the recoil and manage it to a certain extent. But once the fight kicks in, like all that, like you don't have time to like consciously think about it. You're just reacting, and all that just goes out the window. It's not a muscle memory for me, and that's where I have a lot of issues in games like
and that's
that.
a big thing you point out, muscle memory. Because I mean, a lot of guys that are really good at a certain 2-3 games, they can transfer it to all types of games because it's muscle memory across. I mean, it's not necessarily game sense to the fact where they've watched a lot about this game. They know every details. Obviously, that comes with it. If you're good at the game, that's just something you're picking up on. But definitely those kind of guys, thousands of hours of muscle memory.
Yep.
I mean, definitely helps.
That's what it is. I mean, look at Shroud. Shroud's a perfect example of this. He was a Counter-Strike pro. He played for Cloud9 for a while. Fucking god at Counter-Strike, and now he's taking all those skills over to various other games, and you see they translate phenomenally. You can see he's a fucking real-life aimbot.
Yeah. He definitely doesn't struggle.
No, man. I mean, he's a great player, and I wish if I had aim like that, boy, with my game knowledge, my understanding of games. I watch a ton of games. Like, I don't think people realize how much I watch games. Like, when I talk about how much I love video games, it's been probably over a decade that I haven't read, watched, or played something to do with video games every day. Like, every day I'm watching, reading, or I'm playing a game. And if I get into a game, if I'm not playing it, I'm reading about it. Like I said, I've said it. I think I mentioned in the last podcast. For whatever reason, I've been having issues playing games solo lately. So like, Escape from Tarkov, all during the day, I'll be really into it, really excited to play it. But I might play a game or two, and just like, all right, dude, I don't want to lose any of my gear before my friends get on, or I'm just not in the mood to.
Fucking car alarm going off.
Or I'm just not in the mood to play the game by myself. So I'll just sit there and watch 5-6 hours of gameplay and take all that information in, and that translates, for me, it translates really well into video games. And a lot of people don't do that. And that's something I recommend.
That's something that's so simple,
dude.
Yeah, man, just watch videos on it. That's how
live streams.
That's how I even got into games. I mean, much less just choosing what you want to play, but getting good at it. I mean, watch other people who are good.
Yep.
They'll give you tips. They're not shy about telling people what they do.
No.
Well,
even if you don't get tips, like, dude, just like PUBG was a great example of like just seeing angles that you could peek that like you would never consciously think about. But you would just
see this guy accidentally do it in a game,
and then
he may not have been on purpose.
And then you might do that, and then that might give you an idea of something else. Like, oh, maybe this will work over here, or maybe I can use that. And that's a lot of what I do, and that's a lot of how I apply it to various other games. I took a lot of, and I developed, I would say this, because I was trying to go pro in COD for a while. Now, looking back on it, for one, I was way too young.
Long way to go.
Well, I had this, I feel like I had the skill. I was way too young, though, so I didn't know how to properly channel it, properly, like, market or do anything with it. Like I was playing MLG matches and stuff like that with friends, and every team's only as strong as its weakest link, and I was playing with James. So like he was my my objective. Like he would just do the objective, and I would focus on slaying everybody, keeping everybody off him. But I think that stems from a lot of it. Just my my passion for games. I don't know how to explain it.
It's if you care enough. I mean, you got to think. There's millions of fucking YouTube videos. Like, I mean, what's gonna create this idea in your head to go watch those? I mean, you got to have a passion for video games. You got to want to play them. That's another thing that really, changes the dynamic of people in video games is when they give up on them.
Yeah.
Like if a video game's too hard or something like that. I mean, come on, like try.
Yeah.
You got to learn some things. You got to be open-minded. A lot of video games go unnoticed, unplayed by people because 2, 3, 4 minutes into the game, you're like, it's fucking stupid, blah, blah, blah. Make your assumptions and judgments because, everything's instant, gratification.
Yeah, that's what everybody
wants. And it's like you got to give some of these games some tries. Like, I mean, look at what happened with Risk of Rain.
Yeah.
I don't think that game would have sold itself on just its graphics and its description and it, what sold it for me was overwhelmingly positive. Was the however many people tried it out, and
Yeah, no, I
what
agree.
it is.
I agree. You just gotta take the time, put in the effort, and you'll at least get better. I'm not saying you're gonna be a Shroud, but you should. You got to make a conscious effort though. Like,
yeah,
I'll throw out an example. My best friend James. I grew up with this kid. I love him to death. He's like a little brother to me. But for whatever reason, and he's played a ton of video games. I'll throw Call of Duty out because me and him played a fuck ton of Call of Duty. Hundreds of thousands of hours of Call of Duty together. He has negative when it comes to game knowledge. And that's across every game. Like, for whatever reason, he just can't pick up and retain information when it comes to a game. Like, you can sit here and tell him what he's doing wrong over and over again. Like, hey, don't do that, don't do this, blah, blah. And he just, for whatever reason, he doesn't retain that information. And
he's more of in the moment,
I don't know what it is. He's the worst gamer I've ever seen. And it's not because he can't aim or anything. It's like mental. Everything's mental.
Yeah, that game.
And he's a smart kid. Like, a perfect example of this is he's a computer nerd. If I ever have issues with my computer, most of the time I'll go ask him about it because he can answer it. He's a computer nerd. He loves all things computers. He's always on his computer, modding, hacking, fucking all kinds of shit, right? I had him play this game called Ravenfield. It's basically Battlefield but with bots. So it's a super easy game. Turn the difficulty down all the way. Let them just go in. You just shoot bots and it's a ton of fun. He forgot the keyboard layout in the game. Like, I'm trying to tell him, like, lean. So he's like, what key? And I'm like, Q. And he lifted his whole hand off the keyboard and had to look around. Oh, okay. It's a weird situation. I don't know how to explain it. He's just never been able to carry any type of, like, self-awareness or game knowledge when he plays. And it's fucking weird.
Does he play other, like, games? Like, I mean, not like first-person shooters or like.
What were you saying?
Like arcade style or.
Well, he used to play a lot, not so much anymore, being that he's older now. He's gotten into PCs a lot more, and he's more into, like, building it, repairing it, all the back end stuff. So he doesn't play a whole lot of games anymore, and it's hard to get him on a game because, like I was saying, he doesn't pick up on stuff. So naturally, he gets shit on by normal people, and it makes for a not fun experience on his part.
Right.
So, like, Escape from Tarkov,
it'd be brutal.
Yeah, he didn't. He has it. He didn't too much care for it. We played a little bit, and it was brutal. Trying to explain to him all the things. As you saw what happened with Rust. There's very few games that he can, like, pick up and stick. He's more of a multiplayer guy. He doesn't play a whole lot of single player games. But there's very few games that he can, like, just pick up and stick with. Like COD, he was able to stick with for a while. Halo, he sticks with. But most games, especially if there's any type of complexity or any type of, like, huge skill gaps, it's real hard for him to stay engaged. Like Counter-Strike, that was a rough one. He didn't last very long with. There's just such a skill gap, and it's
that's a rough one.
Games like
to jump in.
Like H1Z1, I don't remember him playing very much. Same thing, but games like Gary's Mod, we used to play a lot of prop and stuff together. Things like that that are more laid back, more fun. He loves. But
so it's more or less like, just like you said, it's complexity of certain games that. Well, and I mean, there are some fucking crazy. Oh yeah. Like, I mean, Tarkov's up there for complexity for me. And I mean, I play Rust, and Rust is also another one that you just can't jump into.
But Rust is kind of a weird one, right? Because on the surface, like, when you really think about it, it's a simple game.
Oh yeah. I mean, you could jump in and play the bare minimum layer of that game.
But then when you think about it, like there's so much on the back end that like if you're just watching a video, you wouldn't think about like why you build your base here and why you shouldn't build it there. Yeah. Or why'd you take a left here? Why you go to this monument and you don't go to that monument?
Yeah, man.
There's just all these like subtle why you build your base like this, why you don't build it like that, why you don't upgrade half of it. Why you don't?
And like you said, this is why people, get shit on in that game. It gets a lot of bad reviews because, I mean, people will shit on you and they will not give a fuck. Yeah,
well, it's very toxic.
You will never see them again. It's kill or be killed.
Yeah, it can be
through and through.
It can be a very toxic game, especially for a new player going in. Fucking good luck, man. I was fortunate. Yeah. I met people fairly early on. And like I said, I'm able to like pick up on things. I watched a ton of videos before I even bought the game.
Ton of videos. Yeah, so same here. Before I even purchased.
I went into it with the game plan, a bunch of knowledge, and kind of use that to get my bare bones. And my first few bases, I didn't even get rated. It wasn't until I started playing with the group that I even got rated for the first time. So I had a pretty pleasant, enjoyable first couple wipes. And then, I met Monkey. And,
that's how I played.
And I met all you guys. And it's just, you just got to learn from it, like with anything, You
It just takes a little bit of focus.
Yeah, you got to, you got to
that's a kid's problem.
You got to roll with the punches. I don't even know how we got to this fucking topic.
I don't know, man. We're just talking at this point, You just got to keep it going.
Shit, man. That's been an hour. You wanna hop on some Tarkov here?
Yeah. Let's get some actual gameplay going.
All right, man.
Just fucking play.
I hope y'all enjoyed this week's podcast. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, appreciate you tuning in.
We appreciate you tuning in. Let us know what you think. Let Triston know we missed him down in the comments section below. Like we said, we apologize for missing last week and all the technical difficulties and things like that. We'll try to keep that to a minimum moving forward. But keep in mind, these are pilot episodes. We are all new to this.
Trial
and error.
Trial and error.
With that being said, thanks for watching, tuning in, showing love. Leave us a comment down below. Like the video. Subscribe if you enjoyed it. We're going to be uploading these podcasts every weekday Friday.
That's what he said.
Oh, my God. That's sentence.
Weekday that day.
Weekday that day, Friday.
Yep. The one day.
The one day. That's Friday. That's a weekday.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
That'll be the day.
Thanks for tuning in.
Peace.
We'll catch you next week.